Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review Duran Duran's 2015 album, Paper Gods. It's alright, not terrible, but not great. This is the track listing, and these are the tracks I added to my playlist, 4 out of 12, so 1/3. This album's alright. Most of the songs aren't terrible, but they aren't great either. Fortunately, the good songs here are really good, so when you get to a decent one, it really amps up the album. Pressure Off is basically their first hit song since the 80s or early 90s, and the other good songs here would probably make it onto a greatest hits double album, not a single, but a double for them. The album doesn't flow great though, mostly because most of the songs aren't great, but it's overall just a little bit too slow in paces, and then will kind of rapidly speed up with no warning. The ending of the album is pretty decent, but the beginning is really a mess. It's only barely held together with the opening title track, which is pretty decent, and Pressure Off, which is good. In contrast, the ending of the album kind of starts off with a sunset garage and gradually slows down into a really good sort of techno ballad, Only in Dreams, finishing with a decent ending track, The Universe Alone. The genre here is pretty much just early 2010s pop. There's a bit of influence from rock and techno and other genres, but it's not enough to change any songs, really. It doesn't change the genre and the feel of the album at all. There was only one track here, one single released before the album, Pressure Off, which I do remember being on the radio at the time, which was pretty good for them, and it was a good song on the radio, so yeah. Additionally, that's also my favorite track here. It's clearly the best one by a long shot, although for a non-radio track, I think Only in Dreams would probably take it. I rank this album 11th out of Duran Duran's 16 albums, so towards the top of the bottom third. This album has not a lot of great stuff on it, but unlike the albums below it, the good tracks on Paper Gods are really good. Pretty much all the albums that beat it also have these really good tracks, and either have more of them or they come together better overall. So this album manages to beat out Duran Duran's worst albums, but quickly can't compete as we move up the rankings. The 3 albums directly above Paper Gods all have more good stuff on them and come together better as albums, while Paper Gods continues with kind of experimental stuff that works sometimes, but not consistently enough to really be good. Additionally, this album doesn't take my top spot from 2015. That goes to Imagine Dragons' second album, Smoke and Mirrors, which is definitely better than Paper Gods in quality, and I definitely prefer that one, so that takes my favorite. Next up is Fun's second and final album, 2012's Some Nights. I really like some of the radio hits off of this one, so I'm really interested to hear the stuff that I haven't heard before off of the same album. So stay tuned for that, and as always, stay minty.